What up, everyone? Welcome to Stacked BMX YouTube channel. Today we're going to do an explain and review on the 29-inch S&M bikes ATF frame and fork kit. So, like always, I'm going to tell you everything about this bike, from how it's made, why is it so much money, and what you're really getting your money, when you buy one of these, plus all the different things about the bikes, and help you decide if you really want to buy this frame and fork set. So let's get to it. What's the difference between this ATF and the other ATF? Number one thing is that this is a 29-inch wheel-based frame set. So it comes with a frame to fit a 29-inch wheel, as well with a 29-inch front wheel. Also comes with forks. These things come in about $900 at the moment. Are subject to raise or lower, so pay attention to the price and MSRP because it could change. But heavy duty set of forks, heavy duty frame, and they got a little couple features that kind of make it better for you in the riding wise. So most 29-inch bikes are made in Taiwan or China, and they're made out of usually aluminum. Some have been like high tensile steel. Some other have been like chromoly front triangles and stuff like that. But this frame is a full chromoly frame. And mom and dad out there is going, hey, what's the difference between this and the other one? It's just basically strength. So this stuff is made out of, all the buggy cars and race car drivers. They have to have certain tubing quality in their cars or their vehicles in order for them to be race legal. So this is the same tubing that's in there, maybe be different wall thicknesses and stuff like that, but it's way heavier duty and it's super lightweight. That's the main reason why they use this material, and it's great for bicycles. It's definitely not like aluminum, so you'll never see aluminum roll bars in somebody's car. Yes, there's probably some, but just for the weight strength ratio, chromoly is far stronger. Another cool thing is that this is made right here in USA. Matter of fact, right in Santa Ana, California, where they TIG weld these things by hand. They have jigs, they miter them, and they cut everything down and make these frames. So these things come really cool. So, built up from an actual US citizen supporting our country and kind of the whole American made type thing going. So that's super dope. Also too, is the quality is really, really refined, and they really have a big list that they got to go through in order to send the product to the next stage to say, hey, it's good quality. Also, they got a great warranty program. If anything happens, you just contact the person you bought it from, hopefully Stack BMX, and they can warranty any frame or anything like that, or come up with a crash replacement just in case you ran into a brick wall. But yeah, let's get to it. A little bit of geometry. So parents are going, hey, what's the difference between geometry? A lot of people don't realize that the angle of the head tube is going to cause a difference. The angle of the seat post is going to cause a difference. The rear end length of it's going to cause a big difference. This is, I think, is the biggest thing for bike life, is that I see a lot of these bikes with really long rear ends, and your bike might be one of those. But this one does have a different style rear end, and it helps you with wheelies or manuals or anything like that. So I think that's really cool. Another thing is just how it has a mid-bottom bracket, V-brakes, integrated headset, little bit different style seat post and seat clamp. But yeah, let's get to it. So head tube angle, this comes into as a 69, very, very mellow head tube angle. The main reason I think they wanted to do that is so that the wheel tracks straighter. It's kind of like on a Harley, the wheel's really raked out. Just the weight and ratio just causes that fork to go straight. Combine that with a fork like so. I believe these are, don't hold me to it, but I'm pretty sure these are a 32 or 33 millimeter offset. So great for jumping, stuff like that. But it looks like your standard pitchfork style fork, but for the 29 version. So that it also comes with that fork. And the fork also has a 172 millimeter steer tube. It's one centerpiece on the steer tube. It's all machined out in one piece. It already has the bottom headset race on it. It's got aluminum headset cap on here with a 6 millimeter Allen head on the top. It doesn't have a star nut. It's actually threaded on the inside of the steer tube. And it's got this little aluminum I would say like crosshair thing to add strength to the steer tube so the steer tube doesn't bend. It's also got 5mm thick dropouts, super thick. I got a lot of cutouts. I used to ride for S&M bikes for about 10 years, and I definitely rode a lot of pitchforks, definitely one of the strongest forks out there, and they are still using the same dropout that I used to ride. So you know this thing's good quality because I used to break a lot of forks going to these forks that held up significantly. So I think that's pretty dope. So yeah, let's go. That's it for the forks. Super lightweight, matches up with the frame. Forks are available, but not on the website yet. Very limited, but we'll try to get them on the website very soon. If so, you can probably hit that link right there. Grab a set. Frame wise, since it's machined in the USA, they did a lot of different things. Tubing's double butted top and bottom. Notice how they have gussets on the top and the bottom here. That's to increase strength, make the bike last a lot longer. Another thing I noticed is that they have a mid-bottom bracket. This mid-bottom bracket allows you to put a lot of heavy-duty BMX cranks on. It does limit you from putting mountain bike style cranks on there, so keep that in mind. But the BMX cranks are very, very heavy-duty. So I think with this style bottom bracket, it makes it a lot easier to handle. Especially with do-it-yourselfers or the backyard builders. It's not actual threads, so you don't need to chase the bottom bracket and tear up your whole bottom bracket. Another thing is that it has an integrated headset. I notice a few big bikes out there have a pushed-in headset, or they have there's another one. It's like an integrated, but it's like the cheap knockoff version of that. I forgot what it's called. If somebody knows what it is, leave in the comment. But it's like a cup with the integrated in there, but not very good. Integrated has been by far the best headset. Integrated is just pretty much bearings that sit in there. They sit right on the fork. Very minimal moving parts or multiple parts. Breaks it down to literally 3 parts that will hold your headset together, whereas the other one would be 5 or 6. More moving parts equals more likely to come loose. So integrated headset, super dope on here. Your head tube won't flare, your head tube won't shake, it won't come loose. As long as you put a decent headset on it, should be fine. Another thing I noticed is that it has a 72 seat tube. Very rare for a chrome LA frame, but it does have a 72, so you can use a normal 72 seat post off your favorite BMX bikes. You do need to get a seat clamp, so it does not come with a seat clamp. Seat clamps start about $9.95 and then they go up from there. This one's a little bit different size. I can't remember what it was offhand. This bike does come with V-brakes, which is pretty cool, but at the same time not cool. Wish this might have came with disc brakes, but if you like the V-brakes, these will totally give you enough stopping power. If you do need the disc brakes, you can install a stacked disc brake adapter. You can hit right there, and that thing will adapt this thing to disc, and you can just run a disc hub. You can buy a disc wheel and just throw it on there. On the other side of the frame, I'm gonna pull this frame out of here. Bing. So this frame here has 3 cable guides for your brakes. This is super dope. If you look at them, they look really rad. And yeah, I think it's cool that they added those. Kind of traditional BMX style frame, so that's dope. Going on the dropouts, they do have super thick 5mm dropouts, laser cut dropouts, look really clean. The back side of it runs flush on the chain stays and the seat stays. I think that looks really rad. A lot of companies don't do that. It's either bulging out or it's pinched or something weird. Another thing is that it has S&M embossed caps on here, so you can see the little S&M shield on both here and here on both sides, and it's welded to look super clean. Now when we go into the geometry, I noticed the geometry changes a lot of things on the bikes and make them ride a certain way. This frame is designed pretty close to what I would want to kind of design a bike that I would ride. Width is like just kind of how everything is. So geometry is 69 degree head tube and a 60-degree seat tube. I think that's cool, real relaxed, mellow. Those I might change a little bit, maybe the seat tube, but the head tube I think was great. The bottom bracket, this is comes in at 12.25 inches tall. So with the wheels mounted, put in the bottom bracket here, that is right on the edge of being low, so I think that's great that they had a low bottom bracket. It helps with wheelies, stuff like that. If you're grinding with this bike, might not help so much with that, but for wheelies, it lowers the bottom bracket, stance, everything, and allows you to wheelie a lot better. The top tube comes in 23.75, so if you're a taller guy, this might help out because there's a lot of other frames that are in the 20, I want to say about 23.25 length, maybe 23 and a half length, so this will add a 1/4 inch, give you a little bit of more room, which is super dope. But also keep in mind that the seat tube is 69, so it's a little bit more mellow, and a lot of people don't realize this, is that when this thing's more mellow, it actually kicks it back a little bit. So if you had two head tubes that are, or top tubes that were exactly the same length, that the 69-degree frame, seat tube frame, will actually be shorter on the front end than the one with the 71, because the 71 is steeper, so it's going to give it just a little bit more, so the head tube will actually be slightly longer, so keep that in mind as well. The biggest factor is that the rear end is 17.75 to the center of the dropout. That's saying if you put this wheel and you have the axle right in the middle right here, from center here to the center of the bottom bracket is going to be a 17.75 inches. The cool thing is that it gives you room to slam it forward or push it back a little bit. You could probably get from 17.5 relatively easy on here all the way up to 18 inches. A lot of the bikes out there are coming in at 18 inches and maybe 18 and a half. So check your specs on your bikes to see if this one's shorter or not. Creating a shorter wheelbase makes it far easier to wheelie, makes it super fun to ride. And yeah, definitely if you have the cash and you think this frame's dope, I definitely suggest you trying this thing out because this thing's a beast. I guarantee you guys will love it. Have a great day. Hope this helped you guys out pick a new frame.